the joy of living, what a great lead in, not only with Pete, but with Karen and what she read from Mark Nepo and her prayer. I love it when a service just kind of goes, oh yeah, we're all on the same page. Love that when that happens. So thank you for that. So the joy of life. So not to start out in a downer. However, I want to, but I'm going to. What did I say on Saturday? Don't use the word but. Yeah. Not to start out in a downer, but when we talk about the joy of living, I think we forget that many of us, especially this past month, there's at least 5 of us sitting in this room right now that have lost somebody that's very dear to their heart. Be it a best friend, a brother, a father, an animal, whatever, they have left the planet. They're not here with us anymore. And what I know about my brother, and I bet each person could stand up and say about the person that they love, he would trade places with any of you to watch his granddaughter graduate from high school this year in June. Any of you. I don't care what is wrong with your life. If you're broke, he'd take your place. If you're ill, he'd take your place. It doesn't matter. He would take your place because I know he'd want to be here for those events. And for whatever reason, he's not going to be. And we forget that. We get so caught up into this is life and this is reality and this is what's going on. And so it dawned on me how much I personally complain. And then I read that I'm not the only one. I could point fingers, I'm not going to. However, we complain 50 to 60 times a day. And there's different reasons that we complain. Karen's like, no, I don't. I'm counting, Gail, that's not true. And you're a practitioner, you don't get to go that many times. You get 5, maybe 6. However, we forget and we complain, and there's different reasons, and some of them I thought, well, that's just weird. We are funny. We are funny creatures. We complain because we want to start up conversations with strangers. And instead of saying to them, wow, isn't it a beautiful day? We'll go, God, it's kind of cold, isn't it? What is up with that? See, you all know because you've done it. We feel that there is a connection to our uncomfortableness instead of a connection to our delight. We feel that if we're all sponges that haven't hit the water yet, that we're more alike than realizing we're God in form, and so we're already swimming in that water of God. We're already connected. And yet day to day, we continue to forget and we complain. So that's one reason we complain, because we just want to talk to somebody. And God forbid if we were pleasant. We'll complain about our sports team. We'll complain about other sports teams. We'll complain about the weather. I was living in Santa Fe, and this one woman said, well, it's too hot here in the summer, and the altitude gets to me, and then there's the wind in the spring, and I get allergies. And I looked at her and I said, why are you living here? I mean, she didn't have family there. She wasn't born there. It's like, why do you stay? And she kind of looked at me, and I said, you could go here. Oh, no. And she had a reason she couldn't go there. And then I'm like, well, what about, no, I can't live there. There's this. And I finally thought, you need to stop, Gail. You're making yourself crazy. This woman just wants to complain about where she lives. Now, think about this. How many of us complain about the rain? Come on. Show of hands. This winter, I'll give you all a pass. Raise your hand high. Come on. It's the biggest rainfall we've had, and I came home to it. So yay. However, wait until about August. You know what we'll be saying? Oh my Lord, it is so hot. I just made y'all from the South. But we'll complain about the heat or the humidity or something, because I don't know, it's like it's in our DNA. We are plugged in to be little complainers, and if we did something about our complaints, then it's a jumping off point, and that's okay. However, I realize with me at least, sometimes I just complain maybe because I like to hear my voice. I'm not sure. But remember last week when I said, you get in the grocery line and, you're standing in the 12 or less items and the person in front of you, because you've counted, has 13. You may not be complaining out loud, and I bet you're complaining in your head. How dare they? How dare they stand in this line? Or have you ever been driving down the freeway and somebody's in the, twofer lane? You got to have two in your car. I don't see two people in that car. What are we, the driving police? We complain, and it's something that when we complain, we are denying ourselves the joy of living. That's the truth. It sounds funny here when I talk about it because I'm making a joke out of it, but we're in the midst of our complaining. We're not laughing, are we? We're really attached to what we're complaining about. And so we continue to do it, and every time we do it, we're separating ourselves from the joy of living, which means we are separating ourselves from the divinity that already exists within us. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. That's what's happening. That's what I want you to realize, is that we can stop complaining. I don't know what I'll talk about on Sunday and what we'll laugh about. All the fun we're having together. So there is complaining about, sometimes we complain because we want to avoid taking action. How many of you complain about the local or federal government? Oh, come on, I've read your Facebook posts. How many of you are really actively doing anything about that? Oh, good. Congratulations. However, that was maybe 1% of the hands that went up, and not all of you were telling the truth. It's okay. So if you're gonna, if you're gonna complain about something, have some skin in the game. Do something about it. Go to a march, donate money, unhook yourself from the news that makes you crazy. And to complain about something that you either are refusing to get involved to change, or that you can't change, it's another crazy making thing. It will keep you miserable. It will give you ulcers. It will make you unhappy in the world. And so and I have said this more than once, it's that show me one person that is for something and against nothing. And you can turn any complaint you have into being for something. If you don't like the government, then what do you like? What can you support? There's all different kinds of way to take action. But to just complain, you not only make yourself ill, you can put out that energy and you'll make people ill around you. Or they'll quit being around you. So it's something to take notice of, because it's so pervasive in how we relate to each other. It seems to be our common ground. Instead of what I would like to see our common ground be is, what kind of joy do you have in your life today? What about, sorry, Courtney, what about those hawks? They look fabulous. One more year. So, it's can you switch and change from complaining to being grateful? And it sounds easy, and it's a practice, because I think complaining is just it's a habit. It's a habit that we've gotten into. And it's about everything around us. And I don't think if I said, does anybody want to change places with my brother, I hope nobody's raising their hand. So why do we do that? And so to get into the joy of living, we have to get into recognizing who we are. Are we perfect? No. If we were perfect, we probably wouldn't have said, sure, I'll go to Earth. That sounds like fun. We probably would have stayed out there looking down and going, oh, those people are funny. So we weren't here to be perfect. We decided to come here because we wanted to grow. And the way we grow is with inner relationships with people. Have you ever heard somebody complain that they don't have any friends and yet they're not showing up anywhere? They stay at home? That's sad. That is sad. And you have to be gentle with those people. Because sometimes they're afraid of what having friends might really look like. When you have really good friends, and to me, this is what Community First is all about, you start showing up for people. And that can be scary. Like, well, wait a minute. I come on Sundays, but I go home, and that's, I've done my bit with God. Yeah, no. See, we've decided, I think we are here because we're supposed to connect, heart to heart, hand to hand, soul to soul with each other. That's why we're here. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to complain. We're not here to remind each other how human life is. We all know how human life is. We all do. I mean, I had, since I've been going to the chiropractor, my neck started like really to hurt. And you know what? I gave it voice. Oh my God, my neck hurts. Oh, it hurts when I look up. It hurts when I look down. Oh, poor me. And then it dawned on me, maybe you don't want to give that pain so much attention because it's taking up so much space. And what happened was, yes, I took a leave, so that kind of helped. And yet what I realized is quit talking about it and maybe shift what you're doing so it doesn't create much pain. Remember I said looking down? What am I doing? You know who told me not to do that and my neck would probably feel better? Most of you do know Paul, some of you don't, but my husband, he's like, really, your head hurts when you look down like this and when you look back, right back up? Maybe you want to put that down for an hour. I told you that was what bugs him the most. So it's about taking care of ourselves and really, if we're going to complain about something, then do something about what we're complaining about. To really be engaged in life. We can all show up anywhere on Sunday. That's easy. That's easy to show up. But like Wes says, to show up and suit up, that's different. That's different. That's saying, this is my spiritual home. This is where I belong. I want to know what's going on in these people's lives. I want to know if somebody is in pain and how can I help them. If somebody falls down, I want to be the one that stands next to them and says, okay, I'm going to sit next to you until you're ready to get up and then I'll help you. Because sometimes telling somebody, oh, here's my hand, pop up, they're not ready to pop up. And we have to honor that too. We, I believe, are here, especially at Genesis, especially where we say our foundation is unconditional love. We're here to change the world. You can't do that just on Sundays. Sorry. Please come back next Sunday. I'm sorry if I'm scaring you. We're here to feel the love, to feel the connection, to know that if I fall down and something happens in my life that is devastating, that there are people within this room in a heartbeat that would surround me and love me back up until I'm standing upright. I know that. Do you know how many people in the world don't know that? Do you know how many people in Burien don't know that? They don't know if something terrible in their life happens, who they'd even call. That breaks my heart. Nobody should feel that way. Nobody on this planet should ever feel like they're doing this walk by themselves. Nobody should. And if there's somebody out there that you know that feels that way, for God's sakes, bring them here. Introduce them to somebody. We have new people here. Say hello to them after service. Introduce yourself. Tell them why you love this community and why you keep coming back. Whether it's for the music or the practitioners or because you just love being in this place of love on Sunday. Tell somebody, this is why I come. Come back. Or if you haven't seen somebody for a long period of time, and I know there's a couple people here that I didn't even realize they were coming back because they haven't been back in the year I've been here. To walk up to them and say, wow, it's good to see you. I've missed you. Where have you been? That's the joy of living. To reach across and reach out to another human being so they absolutely know that they matter, that they've been seen, and that they're God-informed regardless of what their story is. And so that is the gift, not only that we give as a community, that's going to be the gift of community first. Because when you get in smaller groups, it gives you an opportunity not to be fearful. Well, I can't talk to people after Sunday service. They don't really know me. Community first is about really getting to know people. And so I'm really excited about it. I know the leader champions are excited about it. And I will tell you, your home group leaders are chomping at the bit to get started. The fact they have to wait one more month before they can have a meeting, driving them crazy. I love it. So just knowing right here, right now, in this moment, we're at choice. Every single person sitting here is at choice. Are you going to love your life? Or are you going to complain your life away? That's your choice. And what I've decided to do is when I start to complain, because I remember when I first walked into one of these churches, I had a big cancel button in the sky. And when I would complain about something, because remember I told you Reverend Susie used to say to me all the time, and so it is. Oh, my life is terrible, and so it is. I'm so clumsy, and so it is. I wanted to hurt her. And I still hear it in my head. So it's to remember you have a choice. And when you say something, and you will, that is unkind about yourself or degrading about yourself or somebody else, you can borrow my cancel button. You just push it. And then say, oh, whoops, you know what I meant to say? I'm adorable. I am absolutely adorable. I love my life. That's the joy of living. Can you walk through life no matter what happens and say, I love my life? Because trust me, this is it. This is the life we've got. And remember, life happens. We're the ones that get to put stories on top of what happens. So write yourself a love story. I know I am. Namaste.